So I want us to move into the MPP primaries now. Very important, crucial. 4 individuals now out, and we now know who will be in the race. Dr. Educhim is there. We have Kennedy Japan. We have the rich Brian Echampon. Is it fair to qualify it as such?
Yes.
Yeah, right. And then there's Dr. Bawumia, who says he's rich in ideas. It's not just about the cash.
My blessed, are you taking out Kofitv Japan engineer?
Oh, apologies.
So
they are 5. He was even here. He came to the newsroom the other time.
Yes, they are 5. And
I see you like Engineer Kofitv Japan to be then.
No. I just I'm reminding you because none of them really fit the bill. So at the moment, blessed, what we are dealing with is 5 individuals have filed to contest for the MPP's primaries, and with these 5 nominations already, they have paid an amount of 23 million cedis to the party, which is serious. Now,
23 million Ghana cedis. Okay.
Now, because each of them paid 4.6 million. Now, if you go to the letter that was released by Engineer Ghanainfotv, he cataloged the reasons for his withdrawal from the race. 1, the fact that the date for the election is not correct. Number 2, that the whole process is flawed, it's been skewed and schemed to favor a particular candidate here, our candidate, Dr. Bawumia. Thirdly, the monetization. That's why I brought in the idea of the constitutional review to look at how party finances is undertaken. That a candidate, before you become an aspirant, before you become the flag bearer of a political party, is being asked to pay 4.6 million Ghana cedis.
If you want to be president, you should have supporters to be able to raise that amount of money.
Why must
Ghana Inside
Ghana Inside.
Ghana Inside TV. Ghana Inside. Ghana Inside TV on YouTube. Let's subscribe, like, and share. They can help my pie the book. Miss me at the park and I'm doing one dance here. So what pretend papa, but YouTube. Never subscribe, like, and share.
Abusia ha Ghana Inside yes yetu ye ho so sedane de nyina no ye de ensema trend on social media no eso ababi bi obi a hwe na adwen efa ho no bi na e bono to fa ne de ababedam na ye nsem bi twegu wa be fontin tan so bro ni be kan say social media no eso ye nkwae ye nyine gongo hwe video yi bi embra ne ba se de tibia no ye be hwe ya adwen e de afa ho ye ngo hwe bi
politics become monetary? Are we not going to promote? And it's one of the reasons why indeed we are not.
Are you saying that all these individuals cannot raise a following of 4 million people? If we're going by that, 4 million people donating just a CD to you would have given you 4 million.
Yeah, but the party itself does not have that membership. How would they get that 4 million followers to be paid?
MPP doesn't have 4 million.
No. I mean, on record, their membership is now up to 500,000. The registered members.
Of NPP?
Yes. You see, that is what you are being deceived in this country. Both the NPP and NDC, they are recognized registered members in their books. But many a time, they look at the electoral results and say, oh, we have 3 million. No, most of Ghanaians are floating voters. They are not registered members of political parties. Now, I'm saying that a party that started as a party trying to change dynamism in our body politics by skewing money, is now calling for members or people that want to contest on this ticket to pay 4.6 million Ghana cedis. That's it well with you. Now, beyond that,
that's a lie. It's not 4.6.
Okay, it's a 4.6 million. Then you more having to read it. Let me read. No, you see,
because he had wanted to do the calculation for you. Maybe he had different figures.
No, you see, when you say 100,000,
okay, let's
500,000. How does that translate to 4.6?
So it is 1 person. No. Let's break it down for you. It's very simple. I didn't write the letter for Adenimo, and you see, some of these things are why before you.
So you are representing Adenimo here?
No, but he's just pointing out
what are you talking about? We are
Adenimo. One of the
so you are not running away from your own shadows.
So it means he doesn't have a mind of his own. He will always want to.
You say what? I don't have one. See, this is what Adenimo said.
Okay.
Now, Adenimo wrote, and I don't know whether you're. I'm sure you're.
I'm sure.
Yes.
The cost of the.
And this is a press release, a press statement, and you can read it. You can see the headline. So that
you can see that. Yes.
He say, following broad consultation. This is the reason why he left the race.
Yes.
The decision is founded on the following: 1, inappropriate political timing of January 1st, 2023 for the conduct of the presidential primary. Number 2, the top-down approach to internal party conduct, which has been severely criticized by many party stalwarts. Number 3, the seeming inclination and the bias of party executive towards one candidate.
Give me that.
Number 4, you don't even have this data. Number 4, which is the most crucial and critical part, the unreasonable, this is at the end engineer, he chooses his words carefully, the unreasonable and unhealthy monetization of our internal politics as evident in the astronomical amount of 4 million and 600,000 Ghana cedis, 4.6 million being demanded from each aspirant. I did not write this for a demo. You don't even know how much the people are paying. And it's so sad that you be in a political party and you don't know how much is being demanded of an aspirant. So when you do this, it means right from the get-go, you would have eliminated a lot of people from the race. 4.6 million. So 5 people paying amounts worth 23 million, which translates to almost $2 million.
But to become president, it's no joke.
What is no joke about it? You must assess yourself. In fact, emphasis must be on what you can do for the country.
No, look at the CDD, and let's be realistic. Yes. Look at the CDD findings, for instance, on the presidential cost, cost to becoming president.
Yes.
You're not spending even less than $100 million. That's what the reports.
No, but that,
about the presidential level.
Yes.
And then 400,000 plus for becoming an MP.
No, you ask yourself.
You need the money.
You ask yourself, did Nkrumah spend that amount? Then Kwame Nkrumah, who started our democracy, had that
But
amount.
the parties need money now.
What do they need the money for? Just go and buy the conscience of the Ghanaians.
If you had 4.6 million as a movement of change, movement for change.
Yes.
You would have used it for election.
We would never spend our money.
You'd have made more votes. You'd have gotten more votes.
And that is the more reason why our party will be so different from what is happening in the system.
And what's this party called?
I'm not going to tell you that. You won't come to our press conference. Would you come? If I tell you right now.
Yeah,
so what I'm saying is that the expose or the release by Adenimo is so damning to the party's cause. He has finished the party. That this was not the party that he signed on to. That you are going into an election that is already determined, according to Adenimo, in favor of one particular candidate. And just when the former vice president filed his nomination, have you seen the kind of backlash that is coming from the other camps? That a whole party's social media handle was used to broadcast one person's filing of nomination as against the others. That is bias, complete bias. Now, recently they held a national conference, a delegates conference at the Legon Sports Stadium. There again, one person was projected against the other candidates. When you do this, how do you then get the rest to join you after your internal contest? So there is nothing to write about.
So it looks like you have a personal beef with Dr. Bawumia.
I don't have it. I'm only telling you what they are saying. All this I'm saying.
That's the reason they left the party.
Why? I left the party. Bawumia. Why did you leave the NDC?
It's clear. You can Google it.
How can it be clear to me when
exactly?
What are you talking about?
I cited Zango Development Fund. I cited youth unemployment, and that was prevalent at that time. You understand? Alan was beaten because of his bitterness. He had to leave.
What is bitterness?
It's bitterness.
That you know bitterness? Have you seen bitterness before?
Look at how I was embarrassed in the election.
Listen. This man is
I hope you give me the time.
No, but you always say you hope. Why? The time.
Yeah, because you see, you've given him enough time.
I'll come to
the matter is that Awan is telling me that he left the NDC because of development fee. Is that the case? Now, this 4.6 million that we are talking about,
ignorantly stealing lies.
You didn't leave. Okay.
Tell your producers to check how much you were paying. We shouldn't allow him do this. This is an ignorant man. Ignorant man who is bitter. That's the problem with him. Is Adenimo the general secretary of did he release the filing fee?
What Adenimo is saying.
Where do you understand this ignorant person?
How much did the party charge?
The party said, taking of nomination,
yes.
100,000.
Yes, right.
Filing of nomination, 500,000.
Yes.
So
if you do,
beyond that, don't go away. Beyond that, they are charging them what we call development fees, which is 4 million. It has to be part of it before you contest. This is what we are dealing with. What we are dealing with. And I'm saying that this has been captured by Adenimo and cited as one of the reasons for withdrawing from the race. You are sitting here, you have no clue about it, and you are impugning documents. I'm speaking to facts. You are conjecturing.
Okay,
that is not the case.
We have 5 now. Who would you stick out your neck for the as the best leader for the NPP?
If I want this country to be destroyed, I'll stick my neck out for one of them. But none of them qualifies to lead this country in this particular moment. We need a candidate who will be able to take this country to the next level. Now you can as it were analyze all of them.
Have you heard Aka 9 pair?
That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Who the Aka 9? Your own is left with 9. What about the one that won with 57%? So he can't even do anything. He just have to sit down. Apart from this slogan. And that 9% they are talking about translates to almost 2 million votes. And who told them that those that voted for them the last time are even sitting down waiting for them? Where from some of these excuses? Where from this campaign?
You feel Dr. Bawumia can't cross the 40% mark in the next election?
In the next election, his best performance will be 15%. Take it from me. Because mind you, he was in power at incumbency advantage. That was what prepared him to get in that 41.74%. Now that you'll be in opposition, you don't have that luxury of dishing out money here, money there, money here, there, and there. And for that reason, people will be measuring you or judging you or analyzing you based on what you bring on the ticket. What is he going to bring on board?
Okay. Aka 9 pair, they say.
Aka 9 pair. How can it be Aka 9 pair in this?
Okay, Innocent.
Yes, I think this creeping culture of monetization is quite sickening. And if you allow me do it before he leaves.
Oh, you don't want to. Let's
speak to facts. You know what I'm saying is that.
Yeah, but hold on. Let Ivan.
But why do you want to?
See the problem.
Let Ivan come through. Then I.
He's packing to leave.
Oh, okay. So you want to tell him in the face? Let me give you the opportunity to do that.
Saying that. You see, the problem with myself, anytime I meet any African top person is that.
Yeah, our brothers, don't forget.
Yes, they used to be our brothers. They are no more with us because of bitterness, because Alan lost elections.
Alan lost which election?
You see, when
educate them well.
You see,
which election did Alan lose? My brother,
when Alan was chair,
let him land so that
when Alan was chair of the Dankwa Club.
What chair?
In the 80s, when he was the chair of the Dankwa Club in the 80s. Cheddar was only 8 years. Today, Alan contested elections after over 40 years experience in politics and did not even get up to 35,000 votes across the country with communicators. With communicators on radio, with pickups and so on. Cheddar even beat him in a jusu that he said he came from. So you could tell that Alan is not in to do anything.
Yes.
He's in because of his bitterness against the NDC. And that's the reason they are here.
Left NDC and joined the NDC.
It was clear.
Can you imagine?
I stated the reasons why I left the NDC. Alan did not state anything.
I want to bring in Ivan, so just conclude.
What I'm saying is that
you have an interesting character here. You have an interesting one.
In MPP's elections, when the General Secretary brought out the press release, there was nowhere in the press release that says that someone is paying 4 million as developer.
4.6, 4 million, yes.
There is nowhere in that.
But then your producer again, the greatest one that calling at them. You have to call at them to justify this.
I'm saying that calculation is that if you put the figures together, you'd be at that level.
I'm with the Dr. Bawumia campaign.
Okay.
I am a communications aide to Dr. Bawumia. We did not pay 4 million.
It's not true. Did you pay? Where were you?
We did not pay 4 million.
At that moment, you said you paid it.
Oh.
But Joy FM would not do as the
why would you talk about me who I told you that we have filed? And I'm a communications aide.
So how much did Dr. Bawumia pay?
600,000. The 100,000 was picked by the youth organizers across the country.
Right.
They
but in his name, in the name of Dr.
In the name of Dr. Bawumia.
Okay.
He submitted the form with 500,000 cedis, and this is the amount of money we paid. Nobody paid more than that. But you see, in a political party like the MPP, in January, Dr. Bawumia rolled out 2 million cedis for them to clear some of the debt. Yeah. In March, he added 1.2 million, 3.2, because the party is being run by donations and contributions from members.
That's just from one person, 3.2 million.
Yes.
If you add the 1.6 to it.
No, that was, which 1.6 again? No. Which 1.6 again? No. I'm saying that the contributions by individuals to the party cannot be said to be someone being asked to pay. It is voluntary. If when we had the conference, you had some individuals giving amounts of money, but 80% of that money was put by Dr. Bawumia. He paid 80% of what we did.
No, but Kennedy was paid. Kennedy was
yes,
paid.
I mentioned it. I said some did donations. I said some did donations, but I'm telling you that 80% of what happened there, the entire amount was fought by Dr. Bawumia and his team. And this is a fact.
So Adenimo has no grounds when he says 4%?
Adenimo has no grounds because the press release and the filing fees and everything is 600,000.
No, it's not true.
What is not true?
I
am coming from my party. You, an outsider who left out of bitterness, is now telling me that I am not lying. Why? I'm even surprised. You, an outsider who left because of bitterness. You.
Are you a member of the
You.
Are you a member of the
Even a Jusu where Alan comes from.
Are you a member of the
Cheddar beat him over 600 votes. Aya was to West Wongo, where he voted. He didn't give even out 1,000 votes. So you don't even have the come on. What are you talking about? I'm even surprised.
Okay, so this is what I'll do. Because you are aide to Dr. Bawumia, I would want to hear you specially speak on why, you feel he'll be the next leader of the party. Let me give the chance to Ivan. Yeah. Okay. Let me
have to run away
yes, like I mentioned, like I mentioned, this creeping culture of monetization has become enough incentive for people to engage in this politics of plunder, because we've gotten to a point where this intellectualism, vision, and that kind of is sacrificed for something different. And for me, it's quite sickening that we'll be having such a conversation, because the amount of money being speculated, that is being bandied around, it's quite unfortunate. It tells you the extent we've gotten in our politics, and that there is the need for us as a country to take a step away from all these things. The MPP as a political party, for me, I'm not sure the MPP is learning, because this is a political party that just lost political power. When you lose power, you lose connections with the people. What you need to do first is to ensure that the internal bridges must be, built. Just try to build trust, confidence, and ensure that the connection between you and the people is something that becomes very friendly. But unfortunately, they don't seem to be doing some of these things. And even within the party, the internal cracks and the sort of conversation being thrown about, so far as this whole contest is concerned. I heard somebody who mentioned that the vice, Dr. Bawumia's wife is a Fulani, and if they, so some of these languages, for me, they are quite unfortunate. Because why we've got into in our politics, such conversation, such language should not be entertained, you understand? And for me, these are some of the things that...
In fact, the former vice president is also not happy about that, because he says, you made me the presidential candidate in the last election, and that was never an issue, so why now?
So despicable. And that tells you that tribal politics that has always been the center stage in the kind of politics that these people do. And for me, we need to do a discourse or activate a discourse that will engender trust, inspire public confidence, so that people will believe that this is a political party that lost power, but now has decided to do things differently. But you don't see any of that. I think the MPP needs some sort of an invasive surgical reconstruction, some sort of plastic surgery to recapture its former glory. Because the way and manner they are going, the trend they are on now, I am not sure they inspire, they convince people enough.
These 5 individuals, you don't see any of them taking the party to 2028 and returning victorious?
For me, some of the individuals in the race are so despicable that if Ghana were to be a serious country, they will not even pop up to wanting to be president. For Dr. Bawumia, I may cut him some slack before, whichever way you see it, he has been, vice president before. So being a presidential material or not, that is another conversation that we can have. The issue has to do with competence, as to whether he's competent or not. I think we can activate that conversation and have it on a different day. But if you look at some of the characters, some of the individuals who are part of it, for instance, some exhibit this violent tendencies every time. As being president is a different ballgame altogether. You need to be very resolute, very firm individual with a vision, somebody who has good temperament and that kind of stuff. But if you profile some of the individuals, for instance, if you take in the Japan Brian Champon, for instance, and you go back to the past, the sort of commentary that these guys have run in this country, it's quite mind-boggling that these people will have energy to pop and say, we want to be president. And to have that energy tells you the kind of deplorable state the party has degenerated into. So for me, I think the MPP is not doing itself good. With this whole presidential election that has become the first option for the party after losing the election, it doesn't make sense. If you speak to any political analyst, he will tell you that it doesn't make sense because the party is already, the cracks are quite obvious. when they attempted to do what we called this thank you tour. It resulted in a killing tour. We all saw what happened. Oh, some people
killing tour, you said?
oh, that is exactly what happened.
Who was killed?
There was an incident. Somebody there was this guy who was assaulted.
Yes.
The videos were all over.
Did he die?
Whether he died or not, that was an attempt.
He was not even assaulted in the hall that we were doing the film.
No, the Bawumia camp denies. Ken camp says it was their support.
It doesn't change the fact that it happened at the time.
He didn't die.
He didn't die. I'm saying that was an attempt. You understand? And aside that, we all saw this internal wrangling, this banter there about the insult that were being thrown about by regional executive and stuff. You see, I'm saying this just to make a point that there is enough cracks in the party after losing power, and that the party should have spent time dealing with some of these things at the grassroots level. When you do that and then you flip into do the presidential election at the top, then you know that you are building on a very strong foundation, but the foundation is cracked. You are thinking about roofing. I know that whatever you built on it will crack. You understand? The MPP is just like a car that is involved in an accident. The first thing you do is to take it to somebody to look at it and put the car in a very good state before you put it to you take it to the station to go and carry individuals.
Is that to say that you're not confident they may make it in 2028?
No, the kind of individuals who have sprung up, I'm not sure that there is any confidence in any of them. There is no. And for Dr. Bawumia, I mentioned competence or not. This is a gentleman who floated the idea.
He spokesperson.
Oh yes, yes. He convinced everybody that hey, I am the best economy, the economic guru. That is coming to save this country from the kind of economic mess that we were in. In the last 8 years, we went to the abyss. Ghana's economy got to the ditch, to the point that we were not recognizable. You understand? All the rating agencies rated Ghana junk. It got to a time we had to go to beg our international creditors to forgive our debt. We were so, I don't know how to even describe it. We got to a point we had to go for an IMF deal after making the noise that it was John Mahama who went for it because he was incompetent thereabout. We had to go to IMF in an ambulance when we couldn't do anything. So the science and the economic indicators at the time pointed to the fact that the promises that Dr. Bawumia made, he couldn't deliver any of them, you understand? And the most prominent one among them has to do with the CD dollar conversation. We had a situation where the CD became the most performing currency in the whole of the world, aside the kwacha.
You understand? All the time.
I am saying no. I am saying that this is a gentleman who is floating this idea that this is what I'm coming to do. At the end of the day, at the back of it, you couldn't do any of these things. So the question is, what are you bringing? What are you bringing on board? It got to a time he was not even talking about economy alone. The guy was fronting digitalization. He became a digital man, talking about ICT, talking about internet. If you even ask him the kind of digital infrastructure they put in place, he couldn't even mention anything. So in terms of competence, I think Dr. Bawumia didn't do much to convince Ghanaians that he really have what it takes. And now the individuals who have come up with him, for me, if you look at...
So are you saying these 5 individuals, you haven't found one person?
If you look at Brian Champon, he was involved in the Ayawaso West Wagon bloody clashes. I know the committee report was that we should reprimand him, the President Akufo-Addo, let him go. You understand? And there are several inflammatory commentary that this guy had been involved in. He told us that they were not going to hand power. So you see, the office of the president must come with certain aura of respect and credibility. And if you are presenting somebody to that office, that person must reflect that aura of respect. But this individual being floating around, I'm not sure any of them is credible enough wanting to be president, because the presidency in this country in recent time has been cheapened. So anybody at all can just wake up or have money and I can be president. That shouldn't be the kind of conversation we should be having. Because when Kwame Nkrumah was coming to Ghana, he didn't come with money. The gentleman came with his bag and his head. He has ideas, rich in ideas. People saw the kind of vision and the dream.
Bawumia says he's stamped.
Bawumia is somebody who has been given the opportunity before. When he had that opportunity, he messed up. This country got into the mess. That resulted in the kind of electoral outcome that he recorded, 38%.
I can't mind.
You see how he has exposed his NDC in him.
I can't mind.
Don't mind them.
He has exposed his NDC in him.
They are not serious. I think the MPP need to do massive reorganization, organize themselves well, and because there are people within the party who are very smart, who are very intelligent. This Adenimo guy, for me, is one of the big shots you can mention. You understand? It's not as if they don't have people. They have, but because these are the guys who have the money, and they are just messing the party.
And I see that my audience wants to come in, but let me bring out.
So, you see, he started with monetization. He says 600,000 cedis is on the higher side, because we will not talk about the allegations by Adenimo or any other person. 600,000. In 2023, the NDC paid 530,000 to elect President Mahama. In 2023, that was how much the NDC paid. You see, when your party is in opposition, you need some contribution from the members to be able to organize something. So it is not really out of place for you to say that, well, whoever will want to be president must be resourceful enough to be able to raise certain amounts of money, or else it will be wholesale that anyone at all will be able to really pick the form and contest. That is one. Two is that I disagree with him when he said that the 5 people are not qualified. What is the qualification to be president of the country? One is that at least you must be qualified to be a member of parliament. Out of this,
Qualified in substance, not by those qualifications.
You were here, I was here when you were talking. You understand? You see, you must be qualified to be a member of parliament, and you must be 40 years and above. And out of the 5 people, we have 3 people who have been members of parliament. Japan has been a member of parliament for 24 years. This man, Brian Champon, has been a member of parliament since 2016 and has been a minister of state in this country, minister of agric, to the extent that his performance in agric at least further surpass what is happening today, looking at the statistics and so on. So, yes, they are qualified enough. If we are talking about things that people say in the past, so it doesn't qualify them to be president, then President Mahama do not have any business being the president of this country. He went to Volta region and said, when it's about unleashing violence, they have revolutionary roots. When it's about unleashing violence, there is no party in this country that can beat NDC and unleashing violence. Are you quoting
him or you're paraphrasing?
I'm quoting him directly. You have the video here at Joy News. That when it's about unleashing violence, there is no party that beats NDC in unleashing violence. And the story is even on my Joy Online. Again, he went to Akina Radio in Techimai and said that the 2024 elections will be do or die. We were expecting a statesman to go to Techimai to commission.
Yeah, but that's not new, is it? You've had your candidate.
That's why I'm saying that. That is why I'm saying that if it is about incendiary comments by people,
not just about incendiary comments,
because the person has said this, so the person is so qualified to be president. And I'm telling you that the sitting president has said worse things.
People with criminal track record. That is what I'm saying. I am saying criminal.
Why are you not giving me the opportunity to speak? When you were speaking, I was right.
No, you said
when you were speaking, I was right. Why? I don't understand this.
No. Because of what you said.
My friend,
so if you're quoting me,
write it. I'm saying that they are all qualified to contest. Amongst them, we'll have the best. Again, you see, when he talks about the economy that we left behind, and he's telling us that the economy was drunk.
Is there any debate on the economy before you left?
There are a lot. Yes.
Really?
We spent 8 years. In the 8 years of our administration, we're able to construct over 30 hospitals across the country. Every constituency has an ambulance. Every student in this country had free senior high school. The economy supported that. That is one. Two is that, you see, the economy was on a sound footing until 2022 when we had crisis, a world crisis. First crisis is
the World Bank country director at the time says the signs were on the wall.
Yes, I'm saying that. Before 2022, the exchange rate, before January 2022, the exchange rate moved from 4.4 to only 4.9. This is a statement of facts. After February 2022, it moved to around 17. You know why? There was food shortage. India, that was supplying 40% of the rice consumption in the world, decided no. So in 2022 alone, UK had to change 3 prime ministers because of economic problems. Our brother, Kwesi Kwarteng, was removed 3 weeks as a finance minister. This was a crisis that engulfed the entire world. There is no government that survived. Check. Few governments survive after COVID-19 in Russia.
But the statistics in Ghana at the time was
the statistics across the world.
No, it wasn't
you
the same.
See, UK
How many countries went for IMF at the time?
UK went to 40-year high in terms of inflation. US, same. This is 2022. After 2022, we changed the face. Today, you remember 2023 December, we're buying a liter of diesel at 23 cedis per liter. Then Dr. Bawumia brought in the gold for oil.
Are you saying that's why we're paying what we're paying for fuel now?
No, I'm saying that we paid up to 23 cedis a liter in 2022.
Yes.
When in January, Dr. Bawumia launched the gold for oil, it came down to around 13 cedis. And we left it at that for 2 years.
Well, will people believe you on this one?
But how much did we leave it?
This is funny.
How much did we leave it? I am speaking to facts. You have producers.
Yeah.
Let them check what the facts that I'm putting out. I'm saying that after February, it came down to the extent that we started paying at 13 cedis, and it was stable from 2023 up to 2025 when we left power, because we left it at 13.99.
I see.
You understand? So, you see, we were in this country when they were telling us that the gold for oil really was a scam and so on. Just about a week ago, the Bank of Ghana vindicated Dr. Bawumia and said that indeed he did well. Again, you see, when you...
The Bank of Ghana said what?
Yes, the gold for oil helps stabilize the...
No. That's not true.
Let me give you a minute.
You understand? So you see, so...
The finance minister mentioned that there is no record of that.
When you talk about the economy, the economy went through challenges, no doubt about it. But the progress we're seeing today, 4 public universities being constructed by this government, every constituency has an ambulance, over 30 hospitals completed. And you are telling me we left a bad economy.
Okay,
you're telling me that Dr. Bawumia is not a good...
It's laughable.
Anytime you think of the economy, you think about Dr. Bawumia as the one who is in charge of the day-to-day administration of the economy.
You cannot be hiding behind COVID.
What can that be? I gave you statistics of other countries.
Quickly, so that I bring...
I gave you statistics of other countries.
Ghana wasn't the only country that had this COVID kind of backlash. You understand? What happened was a deliberate design of incompetence that was orchestrated by
Burkina Faso went to IMF.
Who hyped themselves.
Cote d'Ivoire went to IMF. Togo went to IMF. So what are you talking about? Nigeria went to IMF. We all went to IMF at the same time.
30 seconds each. Yeah, brief.
My name is Enoch.
30 seconds.
Okay, so what I have to say is that our political landscape has always favored consistency. So for people outside the MPP or the NDC to say out of the 5 people, we do not have anybody to represent us or any winnable candidate is somehow funny. Because currently we can see some leadership deficit even in the NDC, because as now we cannot just pinpoint anybody who is capable of leading the NDC out of the name that...
I'm giving 2 names. They are not enough?
No. Out of the name that has popped up, none of them is capable of standing with Dr. Bawumia. And consistency here is going to favor Dr. Bawumia, because from the time he started his active politics till now, we've seen how he has beautified the vice president office, because per facts and data, you and I can attest to the fact that from 1992, we've not even heard of vice presidential names attached with president. Talking about even President Kufuor with Aliyu Mahama, you've never heard of anyone saying President Kufuor Aliyu Mahama government, or even Atamil's Mahama government, or even currently hearing Mahama Jenana government. But we're always hearing a Kufuor Bawumia government, because he beautified that office. So what we are saying is that former Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia is the best to represent us, and going into the election, he's the most winnable candidate who is going to stand tall to win the next election.
In a few seconds, 15 seconds for you each.
All right. So it's a win with Bawumia. Ghana, as everyone knows. So with Bawumia, when you take a look at from the time Mahama is leaving the office, right now there's no one in the system that can compete Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. That is why the NDC people are even supporting some of our candidates, so that when Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is not able to win the elections, they will bring their new fresh candidates so that they can fight us. But at the end of the day, I'm telling you that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is going to win this election.